Again.
The piece starts up once more from the beginning. It goes for a shorter time this round, about 30 seconds.
Better. I'll check in with you all tomorrow on how the piece is treating you. Dismissed.
The girls pack up their instruments behind the screen.
Oh, and Anna. Lovely. Everyone else needs to be a little less aggressive during the first quarter of the movement. Yes?
Tension. After a moment, the girls continue packing up without a word. Anna wants to say something, but finds that she can't. She doesn't have the words. Actually, no. She tries to speak, and nothing comes out. We watch her silhouette grasp at her throat in panic as the other girls ignore her, turn away, and leave. Anna is left gasping, choking, strangled to death. The lights go down suddenly. A few moments in darkness. A gasp, a moment of sweat and fear that lingers after a nightmare. Blue lights up on the girls sleeping. It's the middle of the night. Anna has just awoken from a nightmare. Anna is breathing heavily, hand to her throat in a memory of her imagined demise. Katina stirs, sleepy, turns over and sees Anna.
Anna, you okay? I'm fine, Kat. Go back to sleep.
Anna lays back down and turns over.
I get it now.
Get what?
Choking.
Pause. An understanding?
It's the way of life here, isn't it?
Anna doesn't answer. The girls go back to sleep. In the morning, there is silence. The girls get up in the orange morning light without so much as a word. They all seem disturbed from Bettina's encounter with the prioress the day before. They kneel at the foot of their beds and pray silently. They move to breakfast formation and eat silently. They move to do their chores and to practice silently. There is a pensiveness to their movements, to their faces. Without anyone really knowing, a soft and thoughtful instrumental has begun. Maybe it is in the style of the time period, maybe it is completely modern. Either way, it underscores and draws out the thoughts of each girl as it pipes its way around them. As this happens, the women slowly change bits of their costume to indicate that they are now adults.
The one thing I love is my music.
The quiet that arises in my mind when I pick up my oboe
Or my flute when I sing.
God, I am so thankful for this gift.
But what if that is it?
What if that is all?
I have a home when one was not guaranteed to me.
I say it so often. My God in heaven.
Why am I not happy then?
Blackout.
I heard that it's a recreation.
I don't know that the prioress much cares. She's focused on the message of it all.
And what might that message be?
Bettina enters, carrying a load of laundry. Katina looks at her and they lock eyes for a moment. Bettina gives Katina a polite nod and exits.
Don't fly too high, or you'll burn.
And then drown in the ocean?
And then drown in the ocean.
Sophie begins to walk away. Bettina stays for a moment, gazing at the painting.
Kat, don't you have composition lesson to attend with Maestro?
Yes, of course, I'm going.
Katina exits as Anna Maria enters. We are now in the market. We see the different stalls of the market in shadow behind the sheet. There is one, or part of one, stall visible, selling books.
I was thinking of buying myself a new hair ribbon as a treat. What do you think?
Hair ribbons are all well and good.
But
Well, I'm not really sure. I wish there was more.
more?
Books. How many do you think I could get for this sum?
I would say 2, maybe 3 if they're small.
You shall have to help me pick them out.
Only if I can borrow them when you're finished.
Of course.
See? This is why I don't use my own pocket money for books. I just get them from you.
I suppose that is a good strategy.
Anna Maria puts her money on the stall table and picks up 3 books.
What treasures have we acquired?
A book of poetry by a man called Derispo Elidonio. An epic poem by Tassoni. It's supposed to be quite humorous. And something called Scienza Nuova by a gentleman named Vico.
Poetry out of the years.
Don't forget the book of science.
Count yourself lucky that you live among musical women who adore poetry.
I am one myself, and so I do.
A shared smile. They walk arm in arm back home. When they arrive back, they have a silent discussion about who is taking which books. Katina is on stage folding laundry. The 2 girls' hands touch for a moment, and the 2 women freeze and do their best to laugh it off. Sophie takes one of the volumes and Anna Maria the other two. Each exit separate ways. Katina watches in interest, suspicious, but shakes it off.
When I was very small, maybe 6 or even 5, I dreamed that one day a nobleman would come and marry me. He would relieve me of the boredom of the Pieta. I would get to perform and sing and play, but I would return from my performances to a lavish house. I would wear the most beautiful gowns, and all of my friends would be jealous of me. I wouldn't have to attend mass every morning at sunrise, and I could eat French pastries for breakfast instead of toast. And then I got older, and I realized that was stupid. Men, especially noblemen, aren't saviors. Mostly they're just disgusting. Did you know my father is supposedly some nobleman? Something minor like a baron or something. That's what the nuns told me as a girl. That my mother was a harlot, and I a baron's bastard. A bastard. Not that that matters much here. We're all orphans or bastards or harlots' children. The word holds little meaning for us, especially as girls. Nobody really cares that a girl is a bastard. They only care if a girl isn't pleasant to look at. I don't think I've met a single nobleman that I would take in marriage. I don't flatter myself to think that they would take me, at least as I am. The nuns coo about dowries, but there aren't many of us that could use them. I think most of us have seen the darker side of men and decided that the boredom of the Pieta, while excruciating, is at the very least comfortable.
From off the crooning of a violin, Katina begins to sing. The lights get softer, easier. Behind Katina, the silhouette of a man. As the song continues, we see the silhouette dissipate and break into pieces until it is gone completely.
I'm comfortable. I'm accomplished. I must be content.
Bettina as Maestro Vivaldi enters.
Are you ready to begin?
Of course, Maestro.
Did you attend to those measures in movement too?
Yes, Maestro. I believe that they are much more suitable to the overall work now.
I will see. The score, please.
Katina hands Bettina Vivaldi a large leaf of paper. We can see Bettina Vivaldi's sight reading in her head, assessing the revisions.
Does it flow a little bit better now?
Significantly. But here in measure 281, why have the wind section drop out here?
Well, at that point, the vocalist is singing about how her heart is like a bird, and I thought that her voice should serve as the wind, in a way, instead of the instruments.
You have good instincts, Miss Katina. Now, did you conjure together the next recite that we were discussing?
The two exit, continuing their discussion. Bettina enters, humming the lullaby that Katina sang minutes earlier. She picks up the melody from Katina easily, and it almost seems like the music flows between them, connecting them. As Katina sits to do some mending, the outlines of other women gather behind the sheet. She continues humming as she sews, and the women behind her sway. Eventually, the humming builds into song. Suddenly, the lights turn blue and it is night.
Him? Oh dear. Come now, he wasn't that bad.
You only say that because he talked to you, Betty.
Well,
It's alright, Betty, we don't take any offense.
In fact, it was quite funny when he saw us in our ailed glory and he made that face.
Oh my god, I thought he was going to die.
yes, I guess it was sort of strange, that face he made.
As if disfigured women possibly couldn't be such accomplished musicians.
Oh, yes, of course. The surprise.
Yes, okay, yes, it was a little rude of him.
I saw him in the market the other day with Monsieur Leblanc. Once more, I thought he would die from embarrassment.
I would have hated to see that. He must feel like a fool. I bet you terrified him all the way back to France.
I mentioned it casually to the prioress this morning, and perhaps I did. She told me that he left yesterday afternoon for Paris. Monsieur Leblanc called on her to apologize for his companion's strangeness. The whole thing is just one big farce.
I must be off. Maestro has a few edits for me before rehearsal later today.
Again?
You know, Maestro, you can be quite indecisive.
Indeed. Well, I will see you all later.
Anna Maria exits. Sophie looks after Anna Maria curiously.
Are you on mending duty or laundry duty today, Betty?
Laundry, as usual.
May I join you while I complete my chores?
Why not?
Bettina exits. Katina goes to follow but stops. Sophie is still distracted.
Are you quite all right, Sophie?
What?
Yes, I'm fine.
You seem a little distracted.
I'm fine, Kat.
This might be a strange question.
Well, spit it out. What's wrong?
I have noticed that you and Anna, you are very close.
I would venture to call her my best friend, so... Yes, is there something wrong with that?
Not at all.
You're confusing me, Kat. What are you implying?
Nothing. Nothing at all, I'm sorry.
Katina runs off stage. Sophie is left alone. Eventually, she exits.
Sister Maria just informed me that, there's a proposal for her in my hand.
What? How?
Do you recall that man who came to visit us a few months ago? The friend of Monsieur Leblanc?
I do. I recall that you saw him afterwards and you laughed at him amongst ourselves for his strange behavior.
Yes. So, apparently, I was the most, or rather least, well, disfigured to him.
The man doesn't even know you and he wants to marry you?
Apparently he fell so in love with our music that he just had to have one of us.
And so he chooses you. Why not Bettina, who wants a marriage? Or Florenza, she's more of marrying age.
And we're 18.
You will not say yes to him.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Not all of us are as beloved as you, Anna. Some of us need to consider other
I
options.
do not see why you think I have this charmed life.
I have overheard Maestro Vivaldi speaking of you so highly, telling the sisters how he wishes you were his daughter. His daughter, Anna! I have no such protector.
You have me.
And you are a woman. What protection can you give me? Nay, to yourself, without Maestro, or if the Opera Diesel were to shut down tomorrow?
The Ospedale isn't going anywhere.
I know that, Anna. But what if one day it does? What do we do then?
Sophie is waiting for Anna Maria to say something, anything. She stays silent. Sophie takes this as her answer and exits past Anna Maria. Lights fade, and in the dim light we hear a man's voice.
Keep your time, Anna. The signature changes here at measure 143.
Yes, Maestro.
Anna plays a little something. After about 10 seconds, it goes wonky, out of time.
Anna!
Sorry, Maestro.
What has gotten into you, Anna? Anna, you know that I care about you, not just your musicianship.
I'll practice it this week, Maestro.
That is not my concern. Your playing will improve if we solve such a much more human problem first.
And what might that be?
You tell me, Mia Bella.
It's nothing, Maestro.
Well then.
Fine. It's
What-
Sophie.
What about Sophie?
She might be leaving. And Bettina and Katina are still so... It's been 2 years and they still haven't quite recovered from that,
Right, yes.
I feel as if I've been in the neck of a bottle for a little too long and I want to pour everything out, but there are consequences to rash honesty.
What does our Lord teach us?
One should not tell lies.
Therefore,
Honesty is always best.
exactly.
But what if the truth is painful?
Then, more likely, it is all more necessary. Measure 143 again, please.
Have you figured out what you're going to say to him yet?
I know what I want to say. I know what I should say. I'm having trouble making the two align.
What are you so afraid of, Sophie?
I don't know that I know that either.
So what if you tell him no? What will he do? It's not as if he can come banging on the door demanding you're given over.
I suppose not,
Why does it sound like you don't believe me?
because I'm not sure that I do.
Seriously, Sophie, what will that little French weasel do?
That little French weasel has the ear of some very important people.
And we are the jewel of Venice. We are important people.
He is well known and well off. He could take care of me, give me children.
Is that what you want?
Isn't it what I'm supposed to want?
Is that of any importance to you? What the sisters here, or Maestro Vivaldi, or the other girls think you should want?
No.
Then why don't you just tell the man no?
I have never heard of a lady refusing a gentleman's hand without a solid, honor-based reason to do so.
Then make one up.
And what if I'm found out?
You are a whole human being with the capacity to make your own choices, Sophie. Stop acting like you aren't.
Am I? I don't feel like a human being. I feel like a woman. And I'm not sure that they are the same thing.
We are broken and we are women, but that does not make us any less.
That's not what I mean. I mean that we have effectively had no real choice in our entire lives. Not for anything that matters anyway. Some biological chance made us female. Someone else put us in the scaffetta. Someone else decided we were talented enough to be vigile. Someone else tells us where and when we are performing. We can't choose to be seen or unseen. We're simply hidden without any question. Someone decides whether what we wear and when we wake and when we sleep and when we go to mass. We have rules and we must abide by them as vigile and as women, and I'm simply sick of all of it.
Then make a choice now. What do you want, Sophie?
I don't want to marry Jean. I want to stay here. For now.
Then don't marry him. Say no.
What if he comes after my honor?
Then I will persuade Maestro to cut him down.
Sophie looks alarmed.
In the press, that is, with words. Who in Venice would believe a Frenchman over Antonio Vivaldi?
I'm gonna tell him now. I'm going to reject his proposal.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not sure what to do now.
I'm not either.
Perhaps we should go back to bed.
Yes, perhaps.
Silence.